And good afternoon, everyone. I'm assuming it's afternoon everywhere. Might be evening somewhere for some of you. And so I put out an email just a couple days ago, short notice, but that's the way we do things. And I thought it'd be great to do a show on an instrument that I very rarely get. So while I have it, might as well play on it, right? And if I'm going to play, I might as well share the music. Oh, see, now it's 30 people. Now I can officially get started. Can't have a show without less than 30. So I'll do some talking in a minute. Let me open up a little song. This is dedicated. I've done this before, and I think more so now. I want to dedicate this song, sort of dedicated, but, you know, they work really hard, you know, and when I know Joni and Jerome, and Dawn, if I see her, and a lot of our staff members, you know, I want to say they work 9 to 5, but, you know, in truth, they work 9 to 5 and more. So I don't know if I can change that in the lyrics. Working more than 9 to 5, right, Joni? Would you say that's? Okay, here we go. Let's open it up. Have some fun here. We could do a little medley here too. Thank you. I'll admit Barb's iPhone. I got my co-hosts here. They're just sitting back enjoying themselves. Don't forget to let the people in. All right. Well, I know some of you have an instrument like this, so I'll educate you a little bit as I go, and I'll just play a lot of great music as well. So obviously opened up with 9 to 5, and I thought, you know, this is great. I have a great-looking crowd here today, so then I thought I better do Hey Good Looking. So I dedicated to the staff as well as my students here. Well, you know, whenever I get a chance to play the Grand Marquis, I want to play it and show it off as much as I can because I think this is the only existing one. Technically, it belongs to somebody, so I'm going to test it out before we send it to their home. But, you know, I know some of you, once upon a time, I've had some people say, every now and then we'll get, what's the difference between this organ and that one? What's the difference between this one and that one, and this one and that one? And, you know, and the Inspire and the Alto, and the Journey and the Fanfare, or the this and that. And, you know, sometimes that answer could take an hour, right? Well, to put it in the best perspective, the difference between what the Grand Marquis offers, I even got a few slides here, I'm getting fancy, it's the best of the best. It has the best styles, the best presets, and the best sounds that were chosen off of the Lowrey aria. Did I say that really? I'm recording this. And it is true. When the Grand Marquis was introduced, they gave us the best of the best. Why? Because they had so many great rhythms and styles and sounds and features, and you're going to hear a bunch of those today. In fact, I'm going to show it a little bit differently than I normally do. It's in our nature to show off new styles. There's a lot of the styles are, if you've noticed on your organ, if you put on, there's a style called Unforgotten. Most people know, oh, that's probably perfect for Unforgettable. A serenade, that might be great for Moonlight Serenade. What is it? Got swing? Question mark. A lot of people, oh, I've got the world on a string, etc. Well, Lowrey introduced on the aria, and the Grand Marquis, of course, what was called real styles. And so they named the style for the name of the song. Well, I'm going to trick you today. Oh, I got a trick up my sleeve. The first style is pretty obvious. I played the song 9 to 5. That's because there's a style called 9 to 5. But did you notice how you could use it for other songs? Well, today, a lot of the songs I play are going to be these new real styles, but I'm not going to play the song that it's designed for. Oh, I'm going to trick you today, but because I want to play some different music. So I'm going to feature a new rhythm style here, and it's really a nice, great Latin style. And I know what the song it's typically designed for, and I'm going to challenge you to get with your PAs and see if you can figure out what the name of these styles are. So when we're done with the show today, write the song that I played and see if you can guess the name of the style, okay? So here we go. I'm going to tell you what I was going to do, but then it would be giving it away. Here we go. I just love this style. Years ago, I was told, learn the song Spanish Eyes because it's an easy song to play. A lot of people love the song, and it's a great song to demonstrate if someone's learning for the first time to show that you don't have to be a great player to play. So here we go. Thank you. Please stop. Hold this while. So write that song down, Spanish Eyes, but the style is not called Spanish Eyes. It's called something totally different. I might even go back at the end of the event and see if you got some of these right, because I know some of you have this organ. Okay, and of course, now some of you don't know my roots. Some of you do. I started, when I started in the music business, here's somebody's TV in the background here. a lot of people, what instrument did I start playing? Does anybody know what instrument I started playing for the first time before I started to put?
Guitar.
What was it?
Guitar. The guitar.
Guitar. You're almost correct.
Oh,
I actually started playing the
banjo.
piano.
Ukulele.
I actually started playing the piano when I was 15. Did you know that?
No.
Well, now you know. I stopped playing the piano when I was 15. So it was a very short-lived experience. Then I got a car for Christmas right after I turned 16. My birthday's on November, so when I turned 16, I got a guitar, and my parents regretted it for a little while because they got me an electric guitar, and they thought a small amplifier would do the trick, but I knew how to get a lot of volume out of that. See, back in the late 80s, mid 80s, if you played it loud, you were considered good. Boy, I was great. So I learned, and of course, I learned to play rock and roll and blues. So I like my rock stuff every now and then. I just learned a new rock tune that is really kind of easy to play. In fact, just so I don't goof up too much, and I notice I said goof up too much. That means I might make some goof ups. But who cares, as long as we're having fun, right? And this is a song, some of you, it's a little bit before your time. It's called Proud Mary. Now, I've heard it Tina Turner style. I've heard it John Fogerty style. They're all great. But I'm going to use another rhythm that's a new real style that's not called, okay, you know what? I feel like I'm being mean. The song that I played Spanish Eyes to, do you know what the name of the style was called? Joni, do you know? Venus. Now, some of you know the song Venus. So there's a style called Venus, which sounds like this. Okay? And instead, I used the intro too, and I played Spanish Eyes. You would never guess it was for the song Venus, right? Pretty cool, huh? These new styles are really amazing. This one here, let's see if you can guess this. I'm going to leave this up to the students, but I'm not going to tell you the name of the style. And the name of the style is not called Proud Mary, but it's a fun rock style if you want to play songs like that. So here we go. Let me get on. Oh, let me put it on first. Yeah, da, 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 da. Here we go. No peeking. Okay. Guesses. Now, I know some of you have this organ, so you better get the answer right. Okay. Now, I'm going to play the intro of the song that it's actually designed for. Are you ready for this? This is cool. They took this right off the aria, by the way. Can you believe that? Yeah, that monkey style called Believer. The style's called Believer, but I use intro too, and I got something totally different. You could play so many great rock tunes with it. Now, how many of you are familiar with the term MCS? And this next song I'm going to play, You may be able to hear it on Zoom. You may not because you're thousands of miles away in some cases, but it's a little subtle. I'm going to activate it and use it just to give myself a little bit of a fuller sound. But a lot of you are familiar with the MCS Plus feature, right? You all have MCS. Some of you have MCS Plus. Well, when the ARIA was introduced, and of course they took the best of the best, they went all out and they put, here's some little education for you. Let me get to the right slide here so you could see this. So there is what's called the MCS Plus. Now, some organs have one MCS Plus. Some have two. I believe like the Liberty has the one. I believe the Inspire, maybe the Rialto has two. I know they have two. I don't know which two. When the Marquee was introduced, they had all four. When the ARIA was introduced, there's 6 of them. And when they introduced the Grand Marquis, they said, let's take the best of the best and put it on the Grand Marquis. So that's exactly it. And they all kind of do what they say. Jazz two-hand gives you 6 to 7, 8-note chords with one finger, or however you play. You can play how you normally play. Normal two hands is just like if you do a C chord, they call stack the chords. It's the same 3 notes. Blues gives you these really pretty blues chords. Theater is great for those people who love the theater sounds and what have you, but it'll do a 4-note chord. Really clever. A light is pretty interesting because it's a 2-note chord. So if you transpose down or you don't like these strong chord sounds, you put on light. You can, and if you're doing a 3-note chord, it'll allow you to do, it'll turn it into a 2-note chord. So even if you're a 3 or 4 finger player, very clever. Open takes the chord sound and it takes the middle note out and spreads it out. It almost takes 2 hands to do it if you did it manually. So now I'm going to use some of these, I'm going to use the open and the light while I'm playing this next song. And if I'm going to feature a next song here, I'm going to play a new style. Again, this is a new real style, but I'm not going to play the song that it's designed for. I'm going to play a great country classic. And I call this Tears in My Ears, Lying on My Back country music. You know, because it's a sad song, actually. If you ever read the words, it's like, oh, my God, I feel so bad for the guy who wrote the song. But, I say tears in my ears because you're kind of like, you're lying down on your back and you're crying, the tears come rolling down into the ears. So if you ever hear somebody say tears in your ears, it's like you're laying. Okay, enough of that. All right, so I'll play the song that it's designed for, and then I'll show you the style, or to play the song that I'm going to play, and then I'll tell you where it came from originally. Originally from the Lowrey aria, but now on the Grand Marquis. Here we go. Are you ready? Get set. Let me put on the intro too here. Here we go. Oh, yeah. MCS Plus.
Tennessee Waltz.
That was Tennessee Waltz.
Yeah.
However, the name of the style that I used, are you ready for this? I'll play the first few notes of the song along with the intro, is actually designed first for the song. It's called Could I Have This Dance? That's the name of the style. Now here's the intro one. Listen. So if you remember Anne Murray when she did this. Pretty clever, huh? Sometimes I get a little clever on these Zoom things. I'm having fun. I hope you are too. Now,
Robert,
yes.
Barbara Allen, what MCS Plus did you use?
Actually, I turned on, believe it or not, open. And
Thank you.
because I'm glad you asked, and because I switched one of the presets, it had some strings in there in the lower. That chord sound, that open sound, didn't make it sound muddy because it had beautiful strings on it, and it just spread out that string sound. It was just, ooh, got chills just playing that song. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but so far, a lot of what I've done is I've been hopefully given a little variety. I opened up with a little bit of 9 to 5 Dolly Parton kind of country. Then I did a little Latin, which if you hear the song Venus, that style is actually like a gorgeous Beguine kind of a rumba feel to it. I played Spanish shies that work perfectly with that. Then I did a little rock and roll for you rockers out there. And then, of course, we did some good classic country there. Tears in my ears, remember? Line on my back. No, I should be crying, not laughing, but that's okay. It's a show. We can do whatever we want. And, of course, one of my favorite styles of music that when I first joined with Fletcher Music Center, and I still have a love for this kind of music, is just good old traditional big band music. You know? And every time Lowrey introduced a new big band style over the years on a model, I always went, great, now I can play a lot more of my songs that I love to play or new songs. So this style, I might trick you again on this one. Let's see here. And a lot of people ask, why am I doing it like this? Well, you know, when we demonstrate these new styles, we tend to stick to the style that it's designed for. And what happens is sometimes people think, well, then that's all the song I can play. And the answer is no. You can play hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs with any new style. Bill Curry and Lowrey chose these styles just right. They knew exactly which ones to take off the aria. I don't know if that was good or bad. But anyway, this style here, I'll tell you what it is after I play it. And let's see if you can guess. But let me play a couple great big band songs with it. These are the ones that I love to play the most. I'll just kind of think of it as I go. Here we go. That's so much fun. That's so much fun. Now, so the song was, anybody guess? I can't hear you. Now you can unmute yourself.
Lady is a tramp.
Lady is a Tramp, okay? The style's not called Lady is a Tramp, by the way. This is the name of the style. I'll play the intro, see if you can guess. When you hear the introduction, one, see if you can guess the name of the song that it's kind of designed for. Here we go. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Pennsylvania 65000. That's the name of the style, actually. Pennsylvania. So when you hear it, the introduction, everything, that's Glenn Miller's introduction. But if I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't have known that that was the style I was using. I went over to my intro too, played any other great big band song you want. Isn't that fabulous? Oh,
Robert,
yes.
what did you call that? Pennsylvania what?
Pennsylvania 65000.
Never heard of
You ever heard of the name Glenn Miller?
it. Hmm.
Glenn Miller had a hit song called Pennsylvania 65000.
Okay. I like
At the
it.
middle of the song, he go Pennsylvania 65000, and then there was a telephone ring. Pennsylvania 65000. Yeah, that was kind of, you have to say it just right. So it's a great, 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 great fun style. Now, I've been playing a lot of rhythms here. Now what I'm going to do is play a little medley of songette snippets, snippet songettes, or however you want to call it. Because, you know, a lot of the Lowrys, you all have these wonderful instruments, and they have great presets in them. Well, when the aria was introduced, they introduced some pretty phenomenal new category presets, or category setups, if you will. And when the Grand Marquis was introduced, they either made the mistake or they made a good decision. It depends on how you look at it. And they took some of those new presets and they put them on the Grand Marquis. In fact, I used some of them already. I just didn't tell you yet. And actually, I didn't see, I think I have a slide on this. It'll just show you a picture. And then I'll play some of these for you. So let's see here. Okay, so new category setups here. And you'll notice in the screen there, up at the top here, it says Dimension 1, 2, New Pipes, and Lenny's Best. So the new pipes, by the way, was, for those of you who like the sounds of the pipe organ and the pipe theater sounds, what they did is they sampled this organ. I can't remember where it's at, but it's somewhere. And they made sure that on the Grand Marquis they had those. Now, some of you live in Florida. You should know the name Lenny D. Lenny D lived in Florida for years. He had a very unique organ tone that he played. So they actually they sampled his sounds, and they gave us all these great new Lenny D sounds. And you can see a picture there. That was his organ, or one like it. A Hammond organ with very unique echoes and tremolos and so forth. And then there's what's called Dimension. In Dimension, this may sound funny. It's kind of like a play on words, but when these were created, what they wanted to do is give the students the sounds. They wanted to give a new dimension to the sounds that they would play the most. Now think about the most common instruments. There's over 250 or 30 on these things, right? But there's always a select group of sounds that is always a great go-to. Clarinets, trombones, piano, vibraphone. You know, when all else fails, like if I was put on the spot to play a song and I'm like, I don't have any setups, you know what I do? I choose these types of sounds, because you can never go wrong with a piano, right? You can't ever go wrong with a nice, good classic clarinet sound or saxophone, some of those. And so those are, like, I call them my go-to sounds. But so what they did is they took these great sounds that are already great, and they redesigned them and engineered it so when you play them like you normally do, you have a new dimension to these sounds. Now I'm going to play, not all of them, but a lot of them. I'll kind of call them out as I do it. And I'll play a bunch of song snippets. So all I do is I go to my dimension category. And I'll read some of the words on the screen. I won't play them all. It says, each one of these, there's a number in front of it, and it identifies it with being a dimension. Bells, clarinet, guitar, flute, violin, vibes, trombone, choir, grand piano, alto saxophone, and trumpet. And so the bells, for example, this is, we're in October. I know some of you are pulling out your holiday music. But when I heard the bells, I thought, how did they make the phenomenal bells on the previous models sound even better? Somehow they did. This new clarinet. It's almost like you can hear the breath. And I love, being a guitar player, they put what they call a guitar bend. It bends the note on the keys, so you just hit it a little harder. And of course, a new 12-string guitar. Listen to this. Jealous because I have to tune my guitar all the time. You don't have to tune these guitars. And a vibraphone. How do you improve on a vibraphone? That's already phenomenal. Somehow they did. Now when you hear this saxophone, listen very closely. I'll play without chords first so you could hear the notes by itself. You could actually hear the breath. And if you're close enough to the instrument when you play this, you could actually feel the breath. I'm just kidding. But it's almost that real. And of course, I mentioned piano. What's special about this piano? Now, unfortunately, it may be difficult to hear it in your home because it's designed, when I play this piano and I'm sitting here, it actually feels like a full grand piano. And as I'm playing the notes, depending on the keyboard, the sound, if I play over here, the sound like it comes out over here. If I play it over here, the sound like comes like over here. And if in the middle, it almost, the way they did the sound is engineered it so that when you're playing it, it feels like you're actually in front of an actual high-end grand piano. And the notes, you could actually hear the way the hammer strikes. And they made it so that you can go all the way up, like have 88 keys. dimension sounds are great, aren't they? Now, I know some of you have an instrument like this, so hopefully you're taking notes on this. So you're learning. And if you don't have one, give us a call afterwards, will you? All right. Now, let's have some fun because you've heard a lot of rhythm styles that I called fully orchestrated. We're talking everything going on. That's great for those styles. But at one point in time, Lowrey introduced a category of styles called basic. Now, you should all be familiar with that. And they're called basic for a reason, because they're exactly that. They're basic. Unfortunately, for some people avoid those styles because they're exactly what they sound like. They're very basic, but they're designed for a purpose. The purpose is so that if someone is playing a song and they're having a little trouble with their timing, they can use that style and they're easy to follow the beat. So Lowrey wanted to come up with the best of both worlds. Because we have a lot of folks that say, sometimes I put on this rhythm and it's a little bit too busy. There's a lot going on. You ever have that happen? You have a rhythm that's got a lot going on? And we try to tell you to do this or that and the other to trim it back. But you don't want to do that to a style because that's what makes that rhythm style appealing. So what Lowrey did is they decided to give us 10 great styles of music with a little less calories in the orchestration, but still orchestrated enough that it makes it appealing so it's not like the basic rhythm. So I thought that was the best way to explain it. And you can literally play hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. You can almost play every song that you want to play with these styles that you normally would use for others. You've got, I'll name off a bunch here. You got from light big band to light swings to the light march and polkas for those who like those styles of music, light shuffles, light 2-beat, light 16-beat, piano, guitar, swing. They've got a light style for every kind of category. I'll feature one of my favorite light styles, and I'm going to introduce another new feature that to me was groundbreaking. And I've been saying since the day that this feature came out back in 2011, I said, they should make it this way. And they never listened to me. And then finally, about 6 or 7 years later, they finally listened to me. I don't know if they listened to me or they heard our students complaining, it should really work like this. So let me feature the style real quick. So here's the new style. It's called Light Latin. And this is what it kind of sounds like. Oh, just gorgeous. All right, so it's a very pretty style. And I'll play something like... something real pretty like that with it, right? But, we've often mentioned a feature that some of you are aware of called Fake It, right? You're familiar with that. I think most of you have it, from what I could tell. And there's many ways of using Fake It. I think Dawn, when she teaches her class, for some of the models, she calls it noodling. So you put on Fake It and you noodle the 2 fingers, right? And then it evolved to some of the models, you have Fake It, where if you just hold the black note, you don't have to noodle, you just hold it, and it'll do the Fake It. So they made it a little bit easier. And then on some of the models, if you push the 2 black notes, it'll just kind of go off on its own and do its thing, right? Most of the models, with the exception of 2 organs, the aria and the grand marquis, have now a new way where Fake It can follow us. Because when you use Fake It, depending on the model, Fake It gets deactivated or activates on both keyboards. So each keyboard is in Fake It mode. What I'm going to do is play the song, Spanish, let's see, what is it? Besame mucho, okay? And partway through, I'm going to activate the Fake It feature. I don't know which keyboard, it's just whatever feels like it in the moment. Maybe on the bottom keyboard. In fact, I'm going to even tell it lower right. And while I'm playing, I'm going to hit the 2 notes and let Fake It do its thing. But here's the beauty. Then I'm going to continue playing the song. I can still play the melody while Fake It, it's doing its thing. So it's like having an extra organist come in and play along with you. Only they'll play all the right notes. They'll never hit a bad note. Isn't that pretty clever? So this is our new Light Latin. And then partway through, I'll introduce the fake it, and I'll tell you when I'm going to do it. So here we go. All right, so right now I'm just playing the song. Both keyboards like you would. We all teach in the class. Let's put on a different preset. Maybe some alter styles, right? Oh, there we go. That kind of jazz it up a little bit. Now let's activate Fake It on the bottom keyboard. Here we go. Oh, that's good. Now I'm going to continue playing. Here we go. Isn't that fun? Oh my goodness. Well, whew, I still got some goodies coming up here for you, some more surprises for you. Now, have you ever wondered, a lot of times we'll mention a feature like Fake It, or the touch bars, or you feel start end, or something, and sometimes we say it on Zoom, and then you go back in your manual. Wouldn't it be great if someone could just explain it to you when you wanted? Like you could just pick up the phone anytime and get a hold of us, right? And go, I'm sitting at the organ right now. Can you explain this feature to me? And then we start telling you, and then they say, wait, pause. And you go to the organ, and then we pause. And they go, okay, resume. But you know, what if it's like at midnight? Well, you may not be able to get a hold of me at midnight. So, you know, it's kind of tough. But we found a way. And on the Grand Marquis, there's an actual person that will instruct you in some of the most exciting features on the instrument, the new features as well as ones that we use normally. So, for example, I put the USB in, I had audio, and I'm looking on the screen here, and there's one that's actually called Fake It. Now, check this out. Let me turn this down. I don't know how loud this is going to be. I'm going to hit play.
Fake It. The Fake It feature is located on the right side of the panel below the virtuoso. It's activated by pressing the purple button, Fake It. It's best used when playing with a music style. What it does.
Okay, hold on there, mister. Let me find it first. Now, I paused him. Okay, I found it. Let me resume.
It makes you sound just like the professional musician.
Okay, I think I'll stop right there. I love it already. So, there was actually an audio guide that was designed for the Grand Marquis and the Aria. Isn't that pretty clever? So if you have the Grand Marquis and the Aria and you did not get that, let us know. All right, let's play some more music, shall we? Yes? All right. I'm going to play a style for you now. I wasn't going to play this today, actually. I was just poking around, and I played it, and as I was playing the song, I thought, wait a second, I could use this for polkas. Anyone here like polkas? You know why I like polkas? If you're ever having a bad day, pick a polka and just play it. Even if you don't like polkas, think about it. I have yet to find in my almost 30 years of playing the organ a sad polka. Have you ever heard a sad polka? No. Think about it. You put on a polka, even if you're not a polka lover, people tend to do this. I've had people sit in a crowd, and I'll go, how many of you like polkas? And hands will show up. How many of you don't? And some of the hands, and then I'll play a polka. You know what they're doing? And they start, because everybody starts laughing and giggling, and it's just kind of uppy, right? I found a style, I don't know if this was supposed to be a polka or not, but it wasn't originally. I'm going to play a polka with it first, and then I'll tell you the name of the style. And I'm glad I found this because a lot of people avoid this rhythm as they have it because they go, I don't usually play that song, all right? You'll see. Watch this. Let me put it on. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. All right. Let's see. Let me get a good sound here. One that I like. That's great. Now, you know, polkas are great around October, right? A lot of people, Oktoberfest. What else is in October? Halloween, right? So this style here is great because you could do a polka and a Halloween song wrapped in one. The names of the song, what did I play? Two Fat Polka and Beer Barrel Polka. Now I'm going to put on the same rhythm style. The name of the rhythm that I used was called Witch Doctor. Now I'm looking at the faces like it can't be. Now let me do the introduction one to the Witch Doctor and listen.
1, 2, 3.
Here we go. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, stop it. Boy, I got more applause for that than any of the other songs. Well, I got another song here, but I need the music for this one. Uh-oh, I got glare. So if you see me doing this, I'm not really getting into it. I'm just trying to look at the notes with the glare. All right. Well, before I play my last song, I'm just going to look at the audience here. Did you enjoy your time today? You have a good time? All right. I got one.
Yes.
I got one final song here, and I thought it's kind of fitting.
Way to go.
Thank you. It's kind of fitting because it's the best of the best. What's another good reason? Yeah, you should just treat yourself. You know why? Because you deserve it. That's why. So contact your PA for details. I only have 3 or 4 that I can do. And with that said, I'm going to close off the show with Take It Easy, Kick Back, Relax. Well, this is not a relaxing song. This is actually kind of a rockin' tune. But it's a fun number. And notice to fake it. All right, so let me put on the style. Now, I'm going to actually use the style called Take It Easy. And the song I'm going to play is called Take It Easy. Here we go. Thank you. Stop it. Hold the applause, really, please. Thank you so much. The Lowrey Grand Marquee, everybody. Ooh, so much fun. Well, I want to thank you for attending today. And if you'd like to get yourself into a Grand Marquee, it is worth it. So make sure to contact your PA for more details. It can be done for a very short time. And as always, stay safe, everyone, please. Keep playing music and mwah.
Bye, Robert.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Robert, would you give us your email